How you doing?
Hey there, guys. We are live and welcome to the Free China live stream. So, I think we've got a very interesting show for you today. Of course, you probably saw the thumbnail, and we are talking about the massive China rocket fail that happened fairly recently, and it's been making the headlines in the news as well. Hope everybody's doing well anyway, and I hope you're ready for today's live stream. Please let me know in the chat how the audio sounds. We always have problems with the audio on this channel, so if I can just get a quick, the audio sounds good, Lewis, carry on, then we will get started. So let's see who's in the chat at the moment. We have, who's this? Nachdid Pichu. No idea what that means, but is this going to be like the North Korea rockets in Japan back in 2017? No, not quite. Not quite like that. The right picture is wild. I assume you're talking about the thumbnail, and yes, we will be looking at this. Guaranteed YouTube are going to demonetize this live stream. So, guys, how's the audio sounding? Come on, quickly, give me a thumbs up, give me a yes. Sounds good. I'm pretty sure it's okay, actually, so screw it. I'm going to start instead of waiting for anybody. So, if you don't know how to do it, then don't do it. It's scary to death. Yep, we're definitely going to see that. All right, cool. So anyway, let's get on with this. Let me just quickly add something to here. Okay, so we've got a quick trailer that I made, and I hope you guys enjoy this one because it's quite amusing. And it took a little while to make, so here it is. I'll put it on full screen so we have it in full glory, but this is quite hilarious and pretty cool as well. Okay, let's go. The Earth is dying. We've used up all of our resources, outfished our oceans. Infrastructure is collapsing. Crops are failing, and the atmosphere has been decimated. Time is running out. Our last option to save humanity? Space. Somewhere out there is a suitable planet, a second home for all humanity, a second chance. But how? China, the future, the second largest economy, a developing country with a fully developed space program. Welcome to Tianlong 3 and humanity's last hope. Liftoff.
一切提升了。歪了，掐子了，掐子了，掐子了，掐子了。别说了，错了。现在它落到哪里了？没办法，你看。这怎么地位啊？玻璃都来了，这俩玻璃花都对。
Okay, yeah. Well, there goes the planet. Cup of tea, anyone?
我操
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Look at that. That is absolutely crazy, right? And if you didn't understand what that lady said just after the impact there, she said "Watao," which means basically holy shit, like what the hell is going on? Look at that. That is insane. Okay, so I guess we need to know what's going on, right? So let's have a look. First of all, do you remember this from last week? I actually streamed about this one as well. It was part of my stream last week. But yeah, another part of a rocket booster falling out of the sky in Guizhou in China, just falling on a village there. It really shows that the CCP doesn't give a crap about the average poor person in China. They don't plan where they're going to drop their rocket boosters. They don't have a course trajectory or anything. Just letting it drop on a village with this horrible plume of toxic smoke coming out is really going to damage the environment. Possibly that whole village maybe has to be relocated because of this incident. They don't think about it, do they? Good old CCP. Look at that. So I just thought, you know, those shills, if anything like this happened in the USA or any other country that's opposed to the CCP, they would be jumping all over it. So I thought I would just make one of those little thumbnails that you always see on their channels, USA versus China, and they always put like a dollar sign as the S for the USA, don't they? It looks fucking stupid, excuse my French, but it just looks ridiculous. And they all have that same thumbnail design every time they make a video like that because they know that people are going to click on it. And it just, man, it really annoys me. It's just they really lack imagination and creativity, don't they? But yeah, anyway, I just thought I would show you. I just thought I'd jump all over this, just like what the shills would do, and do my own version. Let's have a look. Of course, can't have synth music, right? How rocket boosters are recovered in the USA.
Yeah, that's one.
That's how the USA does it, folks.
There's two.
That's how you land a rocket. That is how you recover it. That's how China does it. Not very well, apparently. Anyway, so this is what happened with that whole rocket going out of control and crashing. Okay, so welcome to, what's the name of this place? It is Gongyi. So welcome to Gongyi. This is slap bang in the center of China, surrounded by forests. Well, what's left of them. And yeah, it's a it's a city. I'm not sure how many people live in this area. I think, oh, it says there on the side there, 790,000 people live in this area of China. So it's not really a small place, okay? And this is where that rocket launched from. This is very close to this city. Okay. So here is the headline from The Guardian recently, and it says Company Space Pioneer says first stage of its Tianlong 3 launched during test after structural failure and crashed in hills near city of Gongyi. Okay. So this is where it happened, folks, in Gongyi. I've never been there. Why would anybody go to Gongyi? I don't think anybody would go there, right? But a lot of people live there, and this is where the rocket crashed. Okay, so the space rocket of a Chinese private company. Is there such a thing in China as a private company? I thought the CCP pretty much controlled every company, or they at least have a stake in every company. So, Chinese private company? Anyway, Chinese private company crashed and exploded into flames near a city on Sunday after it accidentally launched during a test. How can a rocket accidentally launch? Man, this would be really funny if it wasn't so goddamn dangerous. And who knows if anybody died from this, you know? The first stage of the Tianlong 3 rocket left its launch pad due to a structural failure at the connection between the rocket and the test stand, said company Beijing Tianbing, also known as Space Pioneer. Yeah, good one. In a statement on its official WeChat account, the rocket landed in a hilly area of the city of Gongyi in central China, it said. Video footage from the incident published by Chinese digital media outlet The Paper showed the rocket soaring straight up into the air before losing power, turning horizontally, falling back down to Earth, and exploding into flames on nearby forested hills. An initial investigation of the unplanned flight found there were no reports of casualties. I find that hard to believe. It looked like a big explosion. Hmm. Anyway, parts of the rocket stage were scattered within a safe area, but caused a local fire, and the fire was put out. Okay, the Tianlong 3 Sky Dragon 3 is a partly reusable rocket under development by Space Pioneer. I think they're a little bit behind with that development by looks of things. One of a small group of private sector rocket makers that have grown rapidly over the past 5 years. Private sector rocket makers, definitely linked to the Chinese government. Falling rocket debris in China after launches is not unheard of, but it's very rare for a part of a rocket under development to make an unplanned flight out of its test site and crash. Okay, according to Space Pioneer, the first stage of the Tianlong 3 ignited normally during a hot test, but later detached from the test bench due to a structural failure. Wow. That's insane, man. A rocket can consist of several stages, yet we all know this, okay? When the fuel is exhausted, the first stage falls off, which is what we've seen in the previous video where it just drops down onto that village, right? And the second stage ignites, keeping the rocket in propulsion. Okay, Space Pioneers says the performance of Tianlong 3 is comparable to SpaceX's Falcon 9, which is also a two-stage rocket. Yeah, but here's the thing, SpaceX's Falcon 9, as far as I know, actually was successful. Okay, in April 2023, Space Pioneer launched the kerosene rocket, the Tianlong 2, becoming the first private Chinese firm to send a liquid propellant rocket into space. This whole private firm kind of really perplexes me here. I don't think it's possible for that sort of thing to operate in China. Anyway, whatever, right? The fact of the matter is that this thing failed and crashed right near a city, and it was extremely dangerous. Okay, so Chinese commercial space companies have rushed into the sector since 2014. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Okay, but the important part here is the test sites of such companies can be found along China's coastal areas located by the sea due to safety reasons, but some are also sited deep in the country's interior, such as this one in Gongyi, which is a city of 800,000 people, right? So it's very lucky. Like, if we look at the footage again, let's have a look. Okay, so here it is taken off. Okay, right. Fine. And then down I mean, why would you allow such a thing to be so close to 800,000 people anyway? I mean, they're really lucky that it didn't go in the other direction and crash into the ground. Look at this. I mean, look at how close it is to those buildings. Just a couple of kilometers in the other direction, and that is going to cause a massive explosion on a building, and many people could have possibly died because of this. And it kind of shows you how little value the Chinese government has for the lives of the Chinese people, right? They're expendable and they really do not care about the people. I mean, look at this. Look at that massive explosion. I mean, are they sure that nobody was injured? And the thing is, we can never trust what the Chinese government says, right? When they give us this news. I mean, they've lied about almost everything that they've ever done. So why would we expect them to be transparent with this? It's crazy. So China's space program looks great. Okay, moving on because we can talk about this rocket crash all day. But the thing is, like rockets have been known to explode and all over the world, right? I mean, if you look at footage from like the 60s and 70s, especially in the Soviet Union, a lot of their rockets exploded, right? And I guess it's pretty comparable to what the CCP are like now. I guess they're kind of like the modern day Soviet Union, aren't they? They're testing rockets and like trying to beat America. I guess it's a modern space race that's happening. But again, like I said, they have no value for human life, it seems, and they really don't care. They'll do anything to get ahead. And if that means sacrificing the lives of their people, then so be it. This is what the CCP is all about. The people in China, to them, are expendable, which is absolute bullshit. The Chinese people are pretty amazing from my experience of living in China. They're very industrious, very hardworking, and the CCP completely takes advantage of them. And this kind of just highlights that, like testing an unsafe rocket near a city of 800,000 people. It's madness. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. What do you guys think about this crazy rocket happening? This crazy explosion, this rocket going out of control. What do you guys think about it? Let's have a read of some of your comments. Chinese intercontinental missiles are almost as good. Well, that's a relief if that's true. you know, Is this launch site really that close to a city? Yes, it is. And like I said, they just don't care. Now, they said as well, they said that it was an accident, an accidental launch. How on earth does that happen if you're a professional, like, space agency and you have rockets and you launch rockets all the time? You should have like safeguards in place to make sure that this sort of thing doesn't happen. I mean, what happened was the guy like just sleeping and he like rolled his hand and pressed the massive red button like this. You see, I got a red button, but my one's a little bit different. Yeah, it's really like just incompetence, crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Okay, let's see. They're supposed to be able to land those boosters too. They're not even at the hard part yet. ah, safeguards in China, laugh out loud. Yeah, accidental AI 5G launch. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's actually not funny. I mean, it is funny because like how they just completely screwed up and did an accidental launch. But the thing is, that could have killed people. People could have died because of that. And that's like really horrible, man. anyway, let's get back to the next topic. Let me just get this right. There we go. Okay. So, in other news, we're going to get there. Come on. Here we go. Okay. China tells Taiwanese to visit in high spirits despite execution threat. What's going on here? This is crazy. Okay, so let's just read this. This was in Reuters like a couple of days ago, June the 29th, you can see. And it says most Taiwanese can visit China with no need to worry and can come in high spirits, the Chinese government said, condemning Taiwan for warning its citizens not to go, following a threat from Beijing to execute die-hard separatists. So now separatists or people who support Taiwan's independence in Beijing or anywhere in China can now be executed, apparently, which is crazy when you think about it. A lot of Taiwanese people go over to China to do business or to study or even as a tourist, right? And can you imagine just because they think that their country is independent and they want Taiwan to be a country and they don't want Taiwan to ever be considered a part of communist China because it isn't. And now, just for having those thoughts, they could potentially be executed. That is pretty bad. Anyway, let's continue, okay? So, Taiwan's government raised its travel warning for China this week, telling people not to go unless absolutely necessary, after China announced legal guidelines threatening prosecution and, extreme cases, the death penalty for Taiwan independence separatists. Jesus. Okay, Taiwan's Affairs Office said that the guidelines were only aimed at a tiny number of separatists and their evil words and actions. China views democratically governed Taiwan as its own territory. Yep, we know this already. Okay, Taiwan ignores this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the majority of Taiwanese compatriots can participate in cross-strait exchanges and cooperations. They don't have to have any worries about traveling into and from the mainland. Really? Really? And they can absolutely arrive in high spirits. So you're threatening to execute people who have these thoughts of Taiwanese independence and calling them separatists, even though they live in Taiwan and, they live in a free country, a country that's nothing to do with China or the People's Republic of China. Okay, they think of themselves as a separate country. And you've said that they could be killed and have the death penalty if they go to your country and have these thoughts. And then you're saying, no, it's fine. Don't worry. Come on over, please. What the hell? Like, seriously, what is going on?
Oh my God.
It's madness. It really is madness. Like, seriously. Anyway. Please come to China. We're going to execute you, but you'll be fine. China has vowed to pursue people it views as Taiwan separatists, whether they may be through Chinese courts have no jurisdiction in Taiwan, and it is not clear how China could seek to enforce any legal judgments outside its borders. Well, that's not the problem, is it? The problem is from inside its borders. When you are there, they could just arbitrarily detain you and just make you disappear. Taiwan's travel warning also applies to Hong Kong and Macau. Well, I mean, let's be honest, that is China, really, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, absolute insanity. Okay, and here is Sun Ying, who is the Director of Legal Affairs Bureau of the Ministry of Public Security. And this is what she said about it. And I'm not going to read it. I guess you guys can read it yourselves. But yeah, this is how she worded it, basically saying that she can, that people who have these Taiwan independence ideas could be executed.
中华人民共和国刑法第87条、88条、89条 和危害国家安全犯罪的相关规定，对分裂国家、煽动分裂国家的犯罪行为，根据犯罪情节不同，是规定了不同的追诉期的。以首要分子或者罪行重大的为例，煽动分裂国家犯罪，法定最高刑为5年以上有期徒刑，它的追诉期限呢就是15年。分裂国家犯罪，法定最高刑呢是死刑。
There's the important part. The statutory maximum penalty for the crime of splitting the country is death penalty.
这个犯罪的追究期限呢是20年。如果分裂国家犯罪情节特别恶劣，后果特别严重，那么依法必须要追究刑事责任的，即使已经过了20年的这个追诉期限，按照法定程序报请最高人民检察院核准以后呢，仍然是可以。
Very Orwellian, very 1984. Reminds me of, I don't know if you guys ever watched Star Trek, but, they remind me of the Cardassians, like you go to court in Cardassia and it's really just a show. The whole trial is a show. They already know the verdict before they even have the trial. The CCP is the Cardassians from Deep Space Nine or The Next Generation. Maybe you guys didn't watch Star Trek.
依法追诉的。两高三部的意见，根据两高三部的意见的规定呢，这里呢要强调2点：一是呢，分裂国家、煽动分裂国家的犯罪行为，如果是连续实施或者是继续实施的，那么对连续或者继续状态的时间，它是不计算在追诉期限内的。要在
Imagine getting the death penalty just for wanting your country to be independent, It's like a thought crime, isn't it?
犯罪终了之日起呢，才开始计算追诉期限。这就意味着呢，台独顽固分子的分裂行为一天不停止。
So this means that as long as the separatist acts of the Taiwanese independence diehards do not stop, the sword of legal accountability will always hang high.
法律追究的利剑就会始终高悬。二是分裂国家、煽动分裂国家的犯罪行为，在被立案侦查或者人民法院受理以后呢，如果犯罪嫌疑人或者被告人逃避侦查或者是审判的，不受追究时效的限制。也就是说呢，对于实施分裂国家、煽动分裂国家行为的台独顽固分子，
She needs to brush her teeth, doesn't she?
一经侦查机关立案侦查或者人民法院受理案件，无论他们逃到哪里。
In other words, for the Taiwan independence diehards who commit the crime of splitting the country or inciting secession, once the investigative agency files a case for the investigation or the People's Court accepts the case, no matter where they flee, they will be held accountable for life according to law. So in other words, if you are a Taiwan separatist, never ever go to Cambodia or Laos or maybe even Thailand these days, because they are very pally-pally with the CCP and, they can extradite you off back to China just like that. Okay, so maybe if you are one of these people and you have been found guilty of secession by the Chinese government, you should probably go to a more friendly country. Let's just put it that way.
都将依法终身追责。
运用刑事司
All right, and here's Mr. Squarehead Chen Binhua, spokesperson for the Taiwan Affairs Office of the State Council. Nothing to do with Taiwan, this guy. He's a CCP wolf warrior.
法手段，惩处分裂
More or
国
less
家犯罪分子，
summarizing
维
what she
护
said.
国
I
家
just thought it would be
核心利益
interesting to include.
是世界各国通行做法。台湾是中国一部分，
No, it isn't.
国家绝不允许台独分裂势力以任何名义、任何方式把台湾从中国分裂出去。 依法惩治台独顽固分子、分裂国家、煽动分裂国家犯罪，合情、合理、合法。意见从标题到正文都清晰指明，刑事惩治措施只针对极少数涉毒言行恶劣。
Just want to say, I guess I'm never going to China again because I think Taiwan is an independent country.
谋独活动猖獗的顽固分子，以及他们实施的分裂国家、煽动分裂国家犯罪，不涉及广大台湾同胞。台独是导致台湾兵凶战危、民众利益受损的最大祸源。
Taiwan independence is the biggest source of damage to the people of Taiwan. Oh dear. Only by severely punishing Taiwan independence crimes in accordance with the law can Taiwan compatriots enjoy the dividends of good relations and peaceful development and live a peaceful and tranquil life. What?
只有依法严惩台独分裂犯罪，台湾同胞才能安享两岸关系和平发展红利，才能过上和平安宁的好日子。我们始终尊重、关爱、造福。
You respect, care for, and benefit Taiwan compatriots, warmly welcome and support Taiwan compatriots to participate in cross-strait exchanges and cooperations in various fields and share the opportunities of China-style modernization development. Yeah, I guess it's here's the thing. Does Taiwan want this? Do the Taiwanese people want this? From my experience living in Taiwan,
台湾同胞
they don't.
热诚欢迎和支持广大台湾同胞参与两岸各领域交流合作，共享中国式现代化发展机遇。希望广大台湾同胞坚守民族大义，顺应历史大势，充分认清台独分裂的极端危害性、破坏性，站在历史正确的一边，坚决反对台独分裂和外来干涉，以实际行动维护台海和平稳定和自身安全福祉，与大陆同胞携手共创两岸关系和平发展、中华民族伟大复兴的美好未来。
Wow. But don't worry, guys. I actually, the translation that I did there was completely wrong, by the way. I'm really, really sorry about that. But I do have a more accurate translation. Sorry about that.
一经侦查机关立案侦查，
台独分裂势力以任何名义，
一经侦查机关立案侦查，
任何方式把台湾从中国分裂出去，
逃避侦查或者是
依法惩治台独顽固分子、分裂国家、煽动分裂国家犯罪，合情、合理、合法。
Oh my God.
All right, yeah, sorry about that, guys, obviously, but that was a more accurate translation of what they really wanted to say. And I'm pretty sure that these guys are going to disappear pretty soon. And wow, doesn't look good for them, does it? I heard that right now they're on death row or something. So, yikes. Anyway, I thought it was funny. I found what a Taiwanese couple said. I found it quite amusing, really, and I'm pretty sure this is what most rational Taiwanese people are also thinking. So they say, I don't think I'm likely to travel to China
不
in the
太
near
可能
future
去中国这方面旅游，非必要
if it is not
的话啦，
necessary.
对，
他们可能会
I think maybe they, the Chinese, might gang up around you, which is weird because that's actually happened to me before.
集体来，对，把你围着啊，就一直骂你，骂
And scold you until you can't speak.
到你说不出话来之类等等的问题。
Yeah, I guess they will. And it's definitely not a good idea to go to China if you're from Taiwan. But I thought that would be pretty obvious anyway. Okay, so we got Taiwan advising against non-essential travel to China due to Beijing's execution threat to Taiwan independence supporters.
鉴于陆港澳近年
In view of the continuous increasing and amending of relevant national
持
security
续
laws
增修相
and regulations in mainland China, Hong Kong, and Macau in
关国安
recent
法令
years,
目前已有
there
相当
have been quite a number of cases of
多起
Taiwan
国人
people
赴中国大陆
going to Chinese mainland to be illegally detained and interrogated.
留置盘查的情形。近期中共
Recently,
用
the
发
Chinese
布
Communist
关于
Party
依法
issued
惩
a
治台
guideline
独
on
顽
imposing criminal punishment on die-hard Taiwanese
固分子
independent
分裂国
separatists
家、煽动分裂国
for conducting or inciting secession in accordance with the
国家犯罪
law.
的
The
意见。
law. They just make up the law, the arbitrary law that they just make up on a whim.
那政府经过整体评
And
估，
after an overall
认为有
assessment,
必
the government believes that it is necessary to raise the
要
travel
自
alert.
今年6月
Of
27
course
日
it
起
is. In mainland China, Hong Kong, and Macau,
提升赴陆港澳旅游警示流程
orange. So it's on orange alert from June 27th this
颜
year
色，建议国人
and advises our citizens to avoid
避免
non-essential
非必要
travel
赴
to
陆港
mainland
澳旅
China,
行
Hong。Kong, and Macau. Okay, so there you have it. If you have feelings or you want Taiwan to be an independent country and you're in China, then you could face the death penalty. And just even the possibility of that happening would definitely make me think twice about even being in China or, even being close to China or going to a country that's close to China. I just wouldn't want to do that now. It's actually really, really scary. And, Taiwanese people, I really don't think that you guys should head on over to China anytime soon, especially when they're pumping out rhetoric like this. So, Taiwan, love you guys and just stay away from China, please. Please stay away from China. Okay, guys, that's pretty much all I have today. Because I put a lot of effort into that trailer that I made, I'm going to play it again because maybe some of you missed the start of the stream. So I'll play that one more time and then we'll do a little Q&A. So just let me get myself out of here and I'll play this. Okay. The Earth is dying. We've used up all of our resources, outfished our oceans. Infrastructure is collapsing. Crops are failing, and the atmosphere has been decimated. Time is running out. Our last option to save humanity? Space. Somewhere out there is a suitable planet, a second home for all humanity, a second chance. But how? China, the future, the second largest economy, a developing country with a fully developed space program. Welcome to Tianlong 3 and humanity's last hope. Liftoff.
一切的牺牲。歪了，卡子了，卡子了，卡子了，卡子了。人少了，过了。现在他落到哪里了？没办法呀。这怎么地不呀？玻璃都这家玻璃花都对。
Okay. Yeah. Well, there goes the planet. Cup of tea, anyone?
我操！
Okay, guys. Thank you all for tuning into today's stream. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Now I'll just stay online for 5 or 10 minutes, read some of your comments. If anybody has anything they want to say, please write a comment, or if you have a specific question you want to ask me, now is the time. So let's have a look. China thinks their vote is more than anyone else's. Yeah, I mean, the government certainly thinks that, don't they? Because let's face it, the people don't have a vote, do they? Speaking of vote, it's UK general election on the 4th of July, American Independence Day. What a great time to have a general election. And I will be voting. Oh, shoot. Kaboom. Indeed. Indeed. Perfect landing. Yeah, I'll say. If the idea was to blow up the forest, then yeah, it was a perfect landing. Let's see. Rodrigo says, we must not look back on the technological advances of a dictatorship. This is never good for individual freedoms and democracies. Yeah, unfortunately, in these dictatorships, these awful governments, the people, their citizens are expendable, and they will risk the lives of the people to further advance their technology, which is why sometimes they, like people say, they get things done quicker. But the people who say that, they don't really think about all of those poor expendable people that suffer because of it. So yeah, it's quite scary. Okay, guys, let's see. Do you have anything else for me?
What?
What?
Because if there are no more chats or comments coming through, then I think I will just end the stream. Not that I want to, obviously, but yeah, it's not very interesting if I'm just sitting here talking to myself, right? Okay, we should not rejoice. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, guys. Well, I guess it's pretty quiet today, so I'm just going to end it. Oh, here we go. Glad you are still making shorts. Yeah, I might just put the odd one out here and there, but I don't really want to do them because I think it's pretty worthless. I mean, I do not like looking at short videos. I do not do TikTok, or I don't even look at shorts on YouTube. I'd much rather watch a more sort of detailed video with more explanation. I think shorts are pretty lame, to be honest with you. And I feel like when I'm making them, I'm not really putting in 100%. and that feels pretty lousy. So it's best if I sort of focus on getting some good videos and good live streams for you guys. I'm kind of leaning more towards doing the live streams. I kind of enjoy it now. I used to hate doing them, but I feel like way more comfortable doing them now. So yeah, it would be cool if I could get some other people to join me for these live streams. It's always good sort of like bouncing ideas off of other people and that kind of thing. So yeah, there will be some more shorts every now and again, but mostly live streams. So yeah, hope everybody's okay with that. They keep people coming back. Yeah, I mean, they do and they don't. Like, I noticed when I upload loads of shorts, I get a lot of people subscribing, but then they just like unsubscribe pretty quickly as well. My subscriptions have been like really up and down. Like, I think I'm at like, what was it? Let me check my channel. How many subscribers do I have? I can't even remember now. So I have 18,800, and it's just teetering on 18,900. And it keeps going past 18,900, but then the next day it goes below it again. It's like up and down, up and down. It's actually very annoying. So, yeah, I don't know what to do about that really. So it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't know if YouTube's just screwing with me or what, and who cares anyway, right? Even TikTok eventually moved to 3-minute shorts. Yeah, exactly. They realized that the 60 seconds wasn't good enough. And too many shorts in a brief period are irritating. Exactly. Wouldn't you just much rather watch a full length video? And I'm not knocking the shorts. I mean, obviously, people like them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing so well, and YouTube wouldn't be constantly pushing them, right? But for me personally, as a content creator, I don't find shorts very exhilarating to produce. let's just put it that way. We must not believe that the CCP will disappear quickly. Xi Jinping will put half his population in prison if necessary. Yeah, exactly. And invent compulsory labor for the other part. Exactly, because that's what dictators do. You do good work, Lewis. Thank you very much, my man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, I think that's all we've got for today. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in as usual. Don't forget to please give this live stream a like if you could for me. Whatever housekeeping do I need to do? I'll probably post a link to the Discord group as well, because we have some good conversations going on in there as well. It's pretty fun, so maybe you guys can join that. Anything else? No, not really. Not really. If you want to go and check out my other channel where I do movie location tours, then there's always that to go to. What else? Yeah, that's about it, really, guys. So, yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. And sorry, what's this all about? Wrong pronoun. Oh, sorry. Are you a dudette? And we've got Juan Su, who always posts the same comment. He writes "Jiayo" and he always gives the old thumbs up and loads of flags and that kind of thing. Appreciate you, my man. Okay, so guys, take care. See you all in the next one. All right, bye for now.